Wednesday, 5/22. Wednesday, winning friends and influencing people. Okay. So we're briefly going through this book to break up the readings of the Daily Stoic and potentially maybe move on to Principles by Ray Dalio, or do something similar where we kind of just look at a little bit of the books. Anyway, we're in part two now for 6 ways to make people like you out of how to win friends and influence people. Chapter one, part two, do this and you'll be welcome anywhere. And then we're going to go straight to the back of the chapter to the principle. Become genuinely interested in other people. And this is a really good, interesting principle to talk about because I was just talking to a homeowner, and his advice to me was essentially treat your employees that way, right? Become genuinely interested in them, and they'll have loyalty towards you. So, loyalty is a big theme. So, let's go now to The Art of War, pick up where we've left off. We are now entering the 9 situations, chapter 11. So, I wonder how many of the 9 situations have to do with loyalty. So, let's talk about verse 1. Sun Tzu said the art of war recognizes 9 varieties of ground: dispersive ground, facile ground, contentious ground, open ground, ground of intersecting highways, serious ground, difficult ground, hemmed in ground, and desperate ground. And it's starting to feel the same almost as terrain, right? Chapter 10. Accessible, entangling, temporizing, narrow passes, precipitous heights, positions at a great distance from the enemy. But these are different situations depending on the terrain. And so let's go to the alternate translation before we dive deeper and just see what we gain from this translation. 9 grounds. Master Sun says, according to the rule for military operations, there are 9 kinds of ground, where local interests fight among themselves in their own territory. This is called ground of dissolution. Cao Cao says to this, when the soldiers are attached to the land and are near home, they fall apart easily. I don't know if I quite agree with Cao Cao's reflection on that, where local interests fight among themselves on their own territory. I think that's like when there's infighting, when there's disagreement as far as how the local community needs to be ran. Not that they fall apart because they're close to home, but I can see Cao Cao's insight here as far as loyalty is concerned, because while you should have loyalty to your commander and your general and your country, the closer you are to home, you of course are more loyal to your family. And if their danger is imminent, you're more likely to try to protect them than you would be by following orders. And so I think that goes exactly right back to Dale Carnegie's teaching for the day. Become genuinely interested in other people. Because we've seen in these other military texts, whether it be the Wuzi or the methods of the SEMA, or the three three strategies of Huang Shaigong, we see that treating your soldiers as your own children is very important, and you are very interested in your own children. And so, becoming genuinely interested in other people is not just something that Dale Carnegie is saying. This is also something that these ancient military leaders, through their ancient texts and the art of war, is saying as well.